Everybody is a slave to something. Many of us believe we're free in many ways, but we're chained down by our desires, our ego, and our dreams. Let me give some examples of the world. Some people, they want to chase money, and they think that will give them freedom. Some people believe that chasing status, being on the top, is what will give you freedom. Some people have their own ideas as ego, as something they aspire to be, to give them freedom in their life. All of these things are very common dreams and aspirations and ideas that we believe will give us freedom in the world we live in today. But that is completely untrue. And there's one thing that all of these three things have in common, and that is that they're all attached to the world we live in today. All of these doesn't make you different from everyone else. We're all a slave to something, but I'll tell you how today you can change that and flip that into a way which gives you detachment from this world, from yourself, from your ego, from your emotions, and from all material possessions that this world can provide. And as someone who has had access to money by being born into a wealthy family, had access to status through chasing that and achieving that in some ways, in whatever way, subjective way I deem, and access to ego. I'm a very narcissistic person. I've always been like that since a child. That's just a label anyways. All that means is I always felt I was superior in some ways, or different. All of us feel different. Let's not BS here. But we all these three things have this common attachment to the world. And how I've been able to shift my mindset, my soul, and shift myself into a frame, a paradigm, which no one else, which many people don't have in today's modern society. I'm sure many people do, very few people do. And Islam, for example, I'm going to go on the topic of Islam. What does Islam mean? It's submission to God. What is submission? Submission is the same thing as slave. I say slave is another synonym for being controlled by something, or being a servant to. Many people are a servant to money. Many people are a servant to status. Many people are a servant to their own ideas and ego. Me, everything shifted when I became a slave to God. When I became a slave to God. Because once you're a slave to God, then you naturally become detached from everything else. And of course, it's much easier said than done. But if you have true faith and you believe that through serving God in a true way, believing in God in the right way, because there's only one way and one path to God. There's not subjective paths to God. But once you actually find this way towards God, and you have no doubts in your mind, in your belief, then you automatically, by default, become detached from all these material ideas, or in generally speaking, detached from the world we live in today. And that's how you find true peace, and that's how I 360'd my life at the age of only 20, at a young age of 21. I said 22 in another video because in my mind I think I'm ahead. But at the age of 21, that's my age. That is when I was able, in the span of 3 months' time, in the last 3 months, I'll show some examples later on in different videos, how I 360'd my life, 360-degree changed my life into the correct direction, in an upward spiral, exponential spiral, because I always believed in myself, and I believed that God was with me towards it. I stopped being attached to these things at such a young age. Understand? There are people at the age of 70 still attached to this world. Understand? To me, this world is something, a transition phase, like Dubai. People come and leave Dubai. Understand? It's a transition phase where we come to life, and the death is our beginning to the next life. And that's the true peace we'll find. And I assure you, that's how you do find your true peace in life. So I hope you learned something. Please feel free to ask me any questions at any time on this topic. I'm always happy to discuss. I'm not someone to shy away from conversations, because I am always trying to improve and always trying to help others in a way, because helping others also help myself, right? That's the motto I live by. And even if you get wronged by others, keep helping others, because once you stop doing that, you become like everyone else. Because it's very easy to turn back to the world. Thank you. Peace out.